Have you ever felt like you're carrying the emotional weight of your entire relationship? Like you're always the one fixing things, calming the storms, or holding your partner up, even when you're falling apart inside? That pattern has a name. It's called the rescuer-victim dynamic. It's a relational pattern where one person unconsciously takes on the role of emotional savior, while the other becomes increasingly passive, dependent, or emotionally stuck. At first, it can feel noble, like love, like loyalty, but over time, it creates imbalance. The person doing the rescuing becomes drained, while the other becomes immobilized, often unknowingly. This concept was first outlined in the late 1960s by Dr. Stephen Karpman, who developed a model called the drama triangle. He identified 3 repeating roles in dysfunctional relationships: the victim, the persecutor, and the rescuer. These roles are not fixed, and regardless of the gender, people often shift between them. The victim feels powerless and overwhelmed. The persecutor criticizes, blames, or controls. And the rescuer, while appearing supportive, intervenes in ways that enable dependence and avoid personal responsibility. Each role is reactive and rooted in unprocessed emotional patterns. The rescuer often appears the most helpful, but the motivation isn't always what it seems. Taking care of others becomes a way to manage internal discomfort. The rescuer feels a surge of purpose when someone is in need. That need validates their worth. But often, it's not really about the other person. It's about quieting a deeper fear, maybe of abandonment, rejection, or inadequacy. So when a partner struggles, the rescuer rushes in. Not necessarily because they were asked, but because the emotional discomfort of watching someone else suffer is too much to bear. The result? A quiet transaction where one person assumes emotional responsibility for both. Over time, this disables the partner's ability to self-regulate while exhausting the rescuer. It becomes a trap where no one grows. The relationship runs on anxiety and overfunctioning. In many cases, this dynamic doesn't begin in adulthood. It's familiar because it began in childhood. A child who had to be the strong one, who was praised for being low maintenance or emotionally mature, often learns that value comes from being helpful, dependable, or emotionally in control. Especially in homes where a parent was struggling or emotionally unavailable, this early role becomes a survival strategy. Fast forward to adult life and similar dynamics reappear, this time in romantic relationships. The emotional body recognizes the pattern. It feels strangely like home. So the role of the helper, fixer, or emotional anchor gets replayed, even when it's no longer appropriate or healthy. From the outside, it might seem admirable. But love that requires self-abandonment isn't love, it's compensation. When someone repeatedly suppresses their own needs to support a partner and does so from a place of fear or guilt, it's not compassion. It's control dressed as care. Over time, this imbalance begins to take its toll. The rescuer grows exhausted and unseen, but when they finally try to step back, saying things like, "I need space," or "I can't keep doing everything for you," the dynamic quickly flips. The partner, now feeling abandoned, may respond with, "So you're giving up on me too," or "You've changed." What started as a boundary turns into blame. The rescuer, once the helper, is suddenly seen as the villain. Hurt and defensive, maybe saying things like, "I'm tired of being the only one who tries," or "You never take responsibility," while the partner withdraws into helplessness, saying, "I can't do anything right," or "Why am I always the faulty one?" This is the persecutor-victim shift. The persecutor role lashes out when things feel out of control. Their words cut. They say things like, "You always mess things up. Why can't you get it right?" But beneath the criticism is often fear, shame, or old hurt. Many who fall into this role once felt powerless themselves and learned to protect their vulnerability by turning sharp, defensive, or controlling. These role shifts can happen fast. A partner feeling overwhelmed might say, "I can't handle this anymore." The rescuer jumps in with, "Let me fix it." But when that emotional weight becomes too much, they snap. "You're too sensitive. It's always something with you." Even the victim might lash out, mirroring the same tone they once feared. The triangle rotates, but the pattern stays the same. Both people stuck, not in who they truly are, but in the roles their nervous systems have learned to play. This cycle can go on for years, and the longer it continues, the harder it is to see clearly. The rescuer often internalizes guilt for even wanting something different. But true love doesn't require chronic exhaustion. It doesn't demand emotional martyrdom. It requires presence, choice, and reciprocity. Breaking free from this dynamic isn't just about saying no or walking away. The pull comes from much deeper. It's stored in the nervous system and the subconscious mind, the parts of the psyche that formed long before adult reasoning developed. Hypnotherapy offers a way to access those deeper patterns safely. In a calm, focused state, the subconscious mind becomes more receptive and open. That's where the old associations live, the beliefs like, if I don't help, I'll be rejected, or love means carrying someone else's pain. These aren't just thoughts. They're emotional truths built through experience, and they continue shaping behavior long after the original context is gone. During hypnotherapy, these emotional imprints can be revisited, not to relive the pain, but to understand where they came from and how they're still operating. The nervous system can begin to experience something new. What it feels like to be safe without rescuing, valued without fixing, loved without being needed. The process also softens the guilt that often follows boundary setting. Guilt that was never about the current partner, but about long ago dynamics where being too much or not enough had real consequences. When that guilt loses its emotional grip, choice returns. That's when love becomes conscious again. Letting go of the rescuer role doesn't mean becoming selfish or distant. It means showing up with clarity, offering support without losing self, listening without absorbing, being kind without being consumed. In a healthy relationship, both people hold emotional responsibility for themselves. They meet rather than rescue each other. And both partners grow not because one person is carrying the weight, but because both are standing on their own. So for anyone who has spent years giving more than they had, hoping it would eventually be returned, the truth is, real love doesn't come from overextending. It comes from choosing, over and over again, what aligns with inner peace, not just outer obligation. The rescuer-victim dynamic is not a life sentence, but healing it requires more than awareness. It requires repatterning the emotional script. And that kind of shift starts in the places where the pattern was first written, not in thought, but in feeling. Hypnotherapy is one of the tools that makes that possible. It doesn't erase the past, but it creates space for something new. Balance, reciprocity, and love that doesn't require self-sacrifice to feel real.